Welcome, everyone, to another live episode of the Shopify Growth Show. Super excited to bring Andre back on today from popular demands for his spicy hot takes on all things digital marketing. Today, we're going to be focusing specifically on how exactly we're able to get 7 times the amount of sales using AI. We've got a bunch of little AI logos on the board here today. We're going to try to cover as much as we can. But Andre, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jordan, for having me here again. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, excited to get started and show our success case with AI and Neat.
Awesome. And if you stick to the end, we're going to show you how exactly to get our exact templates, our exact workflows. So, with that, let's get into it. So first off, who the heck are we? Why should you listen to us? Well, we you probably know we're from Growth Hits. We are a boutique agency that does specialize specifically in Shopify stores, and we put our money where our mouth has been all these years. It's when you hear marketers talk about how good they are, you know, you always wonder, Andre, why aren't they busy just running their own brand? Why are they charging other people? Why aren't they just millionaires
Yeah.
off of their own business? And so we acquired a brand called Neat Apparel. Super awesome. You can find it in your Google search rankings or on Instagram, but it's a sweat-proof shirt. And looking back, it's been really phenomenal to see the growth that we've achieved with that brand, really being able to own start to finish the entire marketing funnel. We went from getting about $10,000 in sales. So that's pretty solid. There's product market fit for this, but all the way up to 100K per month. And you can kind of see that trajectory here. And a lot of that has been on the back of using AI tools to make everything our team is already great at, but doing it at a much faster velocity so that we can get more done in less time. Andre, anything you want to add to that? I know that you personally have your hands in the Neat ad accounts.
Yeah, for sure. The growth of the Neat brand, it has been amazing. It's good for us to have total control over the brand and to put in practice everything that we preach for a lot of years now. And yeah, having AI boosting it up and give you extra firepower to grow a brand, it's great. And Neat is the proof of it. Today we'll be focusing a lot on ads, but want to tell you guys that we use AI across everything. We use AI on conversion rate optimization, on email marketing, on SEO. Today we are focusing more on ads, but AI is being giving us that extra firepower that we need to increase across the board. And that's it's thanks to that increase that we can see the growth that you see on that print screen. The 700% growth is because we are applying everything across the board and make all the areas of digital marketing working together more seamlessly, and in a more powerful way.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's really fun to see something like this take off. And then also with some of the other clients we work with, the bottleneck really, when we're able to truly own the process in the way that we want to, becomes inventory in most cases.
Yeah.
So I know we've had to dial back our spend here because it just doesn't make sense to keep spending at the same
Yeah.
clip when we can't fulfill as many orders.
Yeah, we always say that's a good problem to have
Yeah.
when you run out of inventory. But yeah, it's challenging when you get in a state of success flow where you are doing a very good job and everything is going so well. But yeah, when the lack of stock hits, it's a boomer. But yeah, we are working on it and learning a lot because we are having AI now helping us predict the stock for the next year as well, and we are
Yeah.
learning a lot to let's. I'm betting next year we'll be able to run for the full summer without any stock problem. But yeah, this year we just ran out of stock like 4 days ago. So when I say this is in our best colors and our most selling shirts, of course we have other colors and other shirts, but yeah, in our best sellers we ran out of stock. But yeah, let's see if AI can help us solve that problem next year as well.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And I'm confident in that approach since we have way more data at this point in
Yeah,
terms of demand and supply than we did a year ago.
exactly.
Awesome. Well, as you can see or hear, we use AI throughout the entire process. What we have plans for you today is kind of pulling out some of fun executions, some fun implementations that we've done on the video and image side. And then we're going to let you know which tools were used to create those, but know that we probably use 30 plus different tools. They all have different strengths, and every day it kind of changes. One day one will be better. The next day, VO3 will be the new king, and then the next day it's somebody else. So they are kind of constantly in an ebb and flow of who's the best at what thing. But this is going to be a little snapshot of some things that we've been able to create more recently with those tools.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. Let's do a little sound. Can you
I
hear
finally
the sound?
replaced the ugly
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's just play it for a little bit of it.
cushions on my sofa. The manufacturer cushions were so expensive, so I went on the hunt for affordable custom cushions and found Zip cushions. Their cushions are completely customizable from the size and shape to the fabric and fill, and they have so many great fabrics to choose from.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more to it, and I know some call to action stuff towards the end, but Andre, tell us a little bit about the process leading up to this ad. Like, what were you thinking when you created it? What were you pulling from? I know this one in particular is a blend of some real kind of UGC stuff, but
Yeah,
yeah.
let's break it down here, what is happening on the screen. So here we used mainly two tools. One is the AI subtitles for the video on CapCut, and the other one is Arcade's AI. We are using the voiceover, the AI voiceover, so we can create an avatar and it can do a voiceover, text to speech on any video. So here what we did, we had an original version of this UGC and we ran that original version, and it didn't do so well. But the video, so the visual part, it was there. I looked at the video and I was, okay, I think it has potential. So what we did, we removed the sound and we added our own voiceover. And we created multiple versions. The version that you are seeing here, I think it's V3. It's the one that won and that did very well on the ads. But yeah, we were able to transform an ad that was not doing that well with a new script, a very realistic voiceover. As you can see, it's very realistic. And then it was doing way better than it did in the past. So we transformed a losing ad into a winning ad with AI. And I think this is the extra firepower that you have now. In the past, you need to hire someone to do the voiceover for you. So if you want to do an extra voiceover, you will pay extra. Here I can test 10 voiceovers with one video. I can test 20 if I want until I land the script that I want. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love that because a lot of people watching, you might be sitting on a gold mine. You might have content that just needs to be remixed, have a little new life breathed into it. And you can even use AI to help you figure out what those script angles even ought to be.
Yeah, for sure. We will a teaser up front, but we will show you
Yeah, we'll get
how
there.
AI helped us create those scripts that I'm talking about here. But yeah.
Yeah.
Why is
Right.
it so hard to find cushions that actually fit? I tested over 20 cushion brands, and this is the winner. I was ready to give up until I found Zip cushions. They let me customize everything: the size, shape, foam, and fabric. Plus, they have over 100 gorgeous fabrics to choose from. And the quality, insane. They're so comfortable.
So I really like this one. There's a lot of things happening, but Andre, why don't you give us kind of your breakdown of what we're seeing here?
So here we use the same tools with addition of some stock footage to illustrate that part where she jumps into the cushions. The thing here is we now have a lot more freedom, and especially with View 3, that we can now create our own stock footage, our own videos exactly like we want. We have more freedom to do these creations and to really bring to life the script that we want to see, but maybe the client doesn't have the budget right now to invest in assets, or maybe they don't have the know-how or the time, and they are running ads right now and they want to improve those numbers right now. And with those tools we can easily do this kind of work, creating those videos from scratch, of course. And a disclaimer: some products are easier than others. It
Yeah.
depends on your product. Some products are easier to bring to life, like you will see. in other examples that we have in upcoming. Other products are a little bit more challenging. I would say anything, for example, bottles with a lot of text, that is trickier. But if you have a product that shoes, clothes, cushions, it's pretty easy.
But in 90 days, that might be totally different. So,
Exactly. Yeah, they
we're
might solve.
still pushing the envelope pretty much every day to see what the limits of these things are, and I would not be surprised if we're able to really knock it out of the park with a wider array of products. Something else I love about this is also the inclusion of just some very easy to acquire screen recordings of the
Mhm.
mobile experience of the website. This really primes somebody to know what they can expect. It can be tricky when we're using more of these AI generated things to really build that trust and credibility. And I do think that's still really an important thing to focus on as a brand. The AI tools are amazing, but we also still need to make sure we're building that trust and credibility in different ways. And I think just showing people what the shopping experience is going to be like when they get there can be really positive for that. And when they get to the website, you fulfilled a promise you've made, right? You've set an expectation, you've met the expectation. And so now someone's just a little bit more comfortable continuing through the process. And especially for something like this that's customizable, I love being able to show like a big value proposition of it is, hey, here's all the things you can do. So hopefully you have a good mobile experience for your store. If you don't, that's a whole other can of worms that we can talk about and strategize and work on. But this can be a great way to add to your asset library without having to hire a bunch of people. Just really showcase the work that you've already invested in
Yeah.
on the product page or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the trick is really that you shouldn't give up on the assets that you already had. They need to be used i- in uh, in partnership with the new assets that you can create to do a very complete video, like you are seeing here. Another thing is test. Now you have the freedom to do the unlimited test that we always wanted, and that's very important. Sometimes, and we were discussing this a couple weeks back with a client here at GrowthIt. We saw a winning ad. It was a winner. It was the best ad that we had on that batch that we launched. And then on the next batch, we doubled down on the bet because we looked at that and okay, maybe we can do it better. And guess what? With the same ad concept, with a different image and a different headline,
Mhm.
we now have a better version of that ad. Lower CPAs, higher amount of purchases. So it's important to, even if it's bad, you shouldn't give up on that concept right away. You maybe want to proceed to other experiments, but revisit at some point and try to improve it using AI and those tools, because maybe now you can do it better. Like you had an ad 1 year ago that didn't do well. Maybe it's time, let's revisit and see how can we improve using AI. And yeah, let's give it a shot, because we are seeing it's like a 50-50% chance that you are landing on a winner if you do those improvements. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, everything Andre is saying, I think is bad advice for you if you have infinite budget to spend
yes,
on creating content and you care way more about the look and feel than you do ROI. And I do totally respect there's some brands out there who are going to be much more uptight about what exactly we're doing. But I think what we've seen time and time again is an over fixation on being pixel perfect when we don't even know what is landing in the market, what's really bringing people in. That prevents us from ever getting to the point where we are profitable enough to really make those bigger investments in those cool, funny videos or whatever it is. Like,
exactly.
I'm still a big fan of high production stuff, but the reality is you don't need that to start making $1 million through ads.
No, perfect is enemy of the good.
Yeah.
So start doing the best you can with what you have, and then yeah, the more money you get into the company, the better assets you can produce in the future. But yeah, if you have access to an AI tool, they are very cheap nowadays, so just subscribe it and try start doing ads with that tool and see how it carries you forward. And then you can
Mhm.
hire, usually see content creators, you can hire everything once you start making some money on your
Yeah.
business.
Awesome. Okay. Script writing. I know we've covered this one before, but Can you let us know, like, how important is this for the whole process? I know it's not necessarily the sexiest tool or like the most mind-blowing output, but I do think it's very foundational for getting strategic outputs from all of the other processes. So I would love to hear you go into kind of how you view this, how you use it, when in the process are you doing this?
Yeah, so this just a disclaimer, guys. In the end, don't forget you can get all those prompts that we use to create everything. Just send us a message or visit the landing page, and you can download it there. In this case, this is the most important part when you are creating a video like the one you saw before. The foundation of that video is the script. Everything that's happening is detailed on the script that you see here. And these scripts, the process is we usually use ChatGPT, but Grok, Gemini, it depends. Sometimes we also use those. But what we do is we have with our prompt the AI generating that script for an idea, and then we go there on top of that script and we do small tweaks. We generate 5 versions and we gather some parts of other versions and try to piece them together, and then we have the final result of the script. Usually I'm doing that now. I ask ChatGPT to evaluate how awesome that script is and if there is any improvements, and then it usually gives you some improvements that you can do. Sometimes they are good, sometimes they are not, but if you can
Mhm.
improve on top of it, it's good. If you see that it just starts hallucinating, you just dismiss it. But yeah, this is the most important part. Without this script, and it's very simple prompt that produces a bunch of text, but that text is the map for the treasure on the video. It's what is guiding you through the whole video to see that final piece, and it helps a lot when you are passing directions to designers and videographers and people that are is going to edit the videos. I don't edit any video or any image. We have a design team that we work with, and this is my part of the job, is the directions that I give and my vision for the ad that I want to push to the account. Their part is going all technical on Photoshop, on those AI tools to generate those final results. So for marketers, for designers, this is where we come together with AI and we use it in our benefit to, in a easier way, pass our vision to the design team and the videographers, video editors, to bring us better versions of the ads that we want to make.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. And this is even downstream of an even bigger strategic umbrella, where we're working through market positioning. What is the value proposition? What is the elevator pitch for the thing we're doing and for the specific type of customer we're trying to reach with this
Yeah,
initiative? So the script writing is really, secondary, but again, at every level, as much thought as we can put in at the beginning with an openness. That's important too, with an openness that we can test different things and not be dogmatically committed to a singular perspective on what's going to work, which can be tricky. It's tricky to
yeah,
do both of these at the same time sometimes for people. But all of this pre work before we're going into the AI tool
yeah.
saves us so much time, because otherwise, what I see people doing when they're not working with us and they're doing it on their own, what I see time and time again is just like a massive waste of time generating all of these different images and different videos and different things. And it's kind of spaghetti all over the place. There's not really a particular direction, because the AI tools without some guidance is not going to understand the psychology of your customer and embed it in the image. It can do it. It really can, but we have to bring these pieces together. And so that's why we've thoughtfully designed our template process to include these different steps along the
Exactly.
way.
AIs are like Formula One cars. If you give one to my hand and I'm not a driver, I will crash it. If you have Verstappen driving the car, he will be a champion of the world. So it's the same thing. We need to know how to navigate it, and we need to be careful to not think that it can do everything for you. No, it enhances your work. It gives you more power to do better stuff, and not, oh, I will just type one sentence here and AI will give me the best script ever. It doesn't work that way. You need to be the curator. You need to be the person in art museum picking the pieces of art that you want and bring them home to do your own collection. And here is the same thing. You need to use AI to give you ideas, but pick the best ideas and mix and match to get the best result.
I love that. Okay. This is pretty fun. So it's been a pain in the booty, by the way, to get access to the VO account for the whole team, but it has
Yeah.
been worth it. So I know the formatting here is kind of funny, but one of the things that VO3 is capable of doing right now is taking a singular image and then creating a video around it. So we can see the example video.
Yeah, this is just simple prompt. That image and one prompt, it was able to generate this video. The
Yeah.
images, yeah, that one.
And
If,
it's in the thumbnail. This was
yeah,
the input for
we
the
just
video.
gave it that image, and then we used the prompt, and it was able to create the full video. We did it. By the way, we did a full video, 1 minute video with this, just with images that were transformed in videos because the client had the photography and the models, but didn't have any videos, and we were able to create
Mhm.
those videos using only images. So it's a full video where you see motion, but there is no video there. It's just uh, it's image to video tool from View3.
Yeah, I've been super impressed with this tool's ability to execute within the apparel and fashion space. I think that's been a really amazing application because static imagery in fashion, I mean, on most fashion accounts I've scaled successfully, it is a blend of static images and videos, but sometimes it's hard to when you have a lot of SKUs, it's hard to get videography of every single SKU, and sometimes you don't always know which one is going to be the banger, like the SKU, the hero product of the season. And so having this flexibility to be able to create these additional videos
Yeah,
is super awesome.
and the part that the image to video does that's great. It preserves the characteristics of the model and the
Mhm.
product. If, as you can see, the product is exactly like it is on the photo. Sometimes, of course, you need to redo it a couple of times if you want to do different motions, but we have some takes of this video where the guy is moving and the guy is exactly like he is on this photo. You can see the person moving the arms, leaning forward. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Mhm.
And now it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. You can add sound. I can make. So when we did this, it was only image. You could make him move, but he couldn't talk. Now he can talk. He can lean forward and say, "Oh my God, I love these shoes," and it's crazy. The lip sync, the sound, it's perfect. It's very very good. So you can now with having, for example, a review of those shoes with this guy on the photo. So it's great.
Yeah, I love it. I think this is one of the more expensive tools we've purchased,
Yeah,
but it is one of the more powerful ones. And its ability to preserve the likeness of the product, I think, is
yeah.
what really makes it stand out for me.
For me, the best one is Google View 3, but if you want a more affordable option, you can go for Kling AI. It's very
Mhm.
good as well. It does good results and it's more affordable than View 3. But if you have the money, I think the first month it's $125, and after 3 months it's 250. Yeah, if you have the money, View 3 is worth it. It's very very good.
Yeah.
View 3, I want that sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah, get us an affiliate link, Google,
Exactly.
because we already give you enough money.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
it's worth it, guys. It's worth it.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that expensive relative to other ways of acquiring content, but I also know when you're making that first $1,000, every
Yeah,
little penny does matter.
yeah. And you save a lot of money
Yeah.
with those
Um,
ads.
this one's Google Search Ads. We kind of alluded to this already, I think, with the scripts, but anything you would add here?
No, I think the secret here when you are doing text stuff is really the prompt. The prompt is the game changer because you can't really mess the prompt on that image. You ask it to animate it, to rotate, to show the shoes. It's simple prompts and he does it. Here, when we go to text stuff, you really need to nail the prompt. The prompt is huge for this, but it gives you already a different array of headlines, as you can see: features, keyword search, pre-qualifications, price, call to actions that make it ready for an ad. You can get these, choose the ones that you want, and put it on an ad, and you already have a very complete ad for Google.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for years now.
Years, yeah. This one is
It's
for
really not
years.
new, but I would say our process just continues. We dial it, bleh, we dial it in more and more and more. Yeah. And you've got a different flavor LLM for any vibe you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
They all just kind of a slightly different flair.
Yeah. It's my favorite game now. I put them fighting against each other. I
Yes,
go to
yes.
Grok. I use the same prompt, then to ChatGPT, then to Gemini. And the other day I was okay, but now I want you to be in the place of a teacher, and you need to evaluate
Yes.
what Grok gave me. And he was, oh, this and that, and you should change this. In the end, I went for the ChatGPT version with the Grok evaluation, but ChatGPT changed his mind debating with Grok. So it's funny.
I love that. I do the same thing. I'll write like, hey, you're competing with X tool. I'm going to give you both the same prompts, and then feed them back into each other to kind of keep pressure testing it. That's
Exactly.
super fun. All right. This one we have a before and after
The
video.
cushions that you use on your outdoor furniture can completely transform your space. Zip Cushions makes custom cushions designed to fit your space perfectly. You personalize everything. You choose the size, fabric, filling, and shape.
As you can see, we use some of those UGC cuts, but this is now a totally different video.
Yeah,
We know on the
it is.
ads that the first 3 seconds are the most important stuff. And these first 3 seconds, we are leaning on a comparison of a before and after. As you can see, that before and after is not real. The first photo, the first photo is real, but the second photo is not real. So we used Midjourney to generate a photo that was the same version of the first one that was more degraded in a better state, and then we use Photoshop to blend it, and then we use Premiere to make the video and to have that shot. So Photoshop has also great AI tools inside it. You can explore it. It's great, and it's our go-to tool for any image edit that we make. And yeah, Midjourney is very good at generating images as well, especially for cushions and those type of outdoor vibes and appliances. But yeah, it's great. This one, like you are seeing here, we are testing multiple versions of similar assets with ads. And this is really the trick to get good performance on your account. You need to test a lot, and you can't be biased. You need to have an open mind, test, and learn as you go along, and gather those learnings and try to improve on top of them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe no one would show up, but we probably would be better served having a mindset webinar on how to like have the right mindset about testing. Because I totally agree. We are surprised all the time about which ones actually make it to the top. And of course, like the process continuously produces winners, but which one exactly is the winner is not always foreseen.
No. And when we are in the game of the e-commerce part, and the branding is for big brands. When we are starting and when every dollar counts, this is the type of growth hacking stuff that you need to do to really get a ad that can give your business the next step, and you can get from 10,000 to 100,000 a month. This is the type of stuff that gets you there. Branding, very beautiful logos, it's very, very important, but it's later stages. First part is let's get money into the door. Let's start hiring UGC creators. For that, we need to have sales. And this is the part where it's cheap and it get those initial sales for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just like continuing to wring that one UGC asset. We've seen it in this presentation 3 different ways, but I know in the actual implementation, there's probably 20 different ways that
Yeah.
the singular piece of content has been tweaked. Maybe they all didn't get a ton of spend, but it doesn't matter. Like it's just the process of continuously trying to get more out of the content.
Exactly. And in this project, we launched more than 30 experiments. It was more than 200 ads. This is just from this video we made probably 5 or 6 different versions.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And I love that you brought up the Adobe suite. I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship, as do I, with Adobe. But if you are working with a team who, are professional designers, most of them do have access to it in some capacity. And they are doing a good job of integrating the AI tools within Illustrator, within Photoshop.
yeah,
Um, so it's interesting to see how they're trying to stay relevant in that way.
yeah, for sure.
The transcription tool, we were talking about that earlier today. I really love Premiere's transcription tool. I know CapCut will do it. A lot of other people will do it. But if you have access to the software, I think it's just a lot of a cleaner, easier
Yeah.
experience to edit within the transcript in
And
Premiere.
it's very good creating space. Let's imagine I'm selling this phone and it's very close to the camera. I don't have space to put any text. It's very good creating that space that doesn't exist in the photo in a very
Oh,
realistic
yeah.
way. It's very, very good. It's great.
Canva's very bad at it,
Yeah.
which makes sense. um, it depends on the photo, but that's a great call out and a great use case of Photoshop because this
Yeah.
used to be a problem constantly. We'd get these beautiful photos that really were intended more for prints, more for catalog, or for even billboards, and they're not always the best shape
Yeah.
to move over to social media and these digital spaces. So having that flexibility has been a massive game changer, even when you are a huge brand who's invested a lot of money in those
Exactly.
brand assets.
Yeah. You always have that favorite photo that you want, but it
Yeah,
doesn't fit the ad. So it's very good to have the freedom to be able to add that additional space to put your text and to create that ad.
I
For
love
sure.
that. It's a great shout out for Photoshop. So, I mean, this we'll get more into Photoshop in a few slides, I think, as well. And there's thousands of images that have been generated by our team, probably tens of thousand images at this point in the process. These are by no means representative. This is just ones that I was able to grab. But as you can see at the bottom, there's a lot of competing tools who can make images for you. They all have different pros and cons. Some are really terrible at humans, some are
Yeah.
really amazing at realistic landscapes. Some are better for continuity. They're better at having your products look the same in every photo or the person look the same in every photo. Um, I don't know, anything you want to call out on the image creation?
No, I just wanted to call out very fast. If it was, for example, for cushions, I use Mid Journey. To create people, I use Crea AI. To keep the product in the photo more realistic, I usually use ChatGPT to create the image. So
Hmm.
this can change every month because they are always improving. But yeah, those would be the criteria of selection of the tools. And then to animate everything is either VO3 or Kling AI. Kling AI is also very good. So Kling AI is good across the board. I would say it's not the best, but it's
Yeah.
good across the board. So yeah,
Well, that's
if
good
you
to
are
know. Like if you're going to start
yeah,
somewhere.
so if you have a limited budget to acquire a AI tool, just acquire Kling AI because it will serve you across the board. It will give you VO3 functionalities as well. So it sometimes it's comparable. So it will not it's not the best on the market, but it's very good. It's a
Do
solid
you
base across the board.
do you have to do more iterations to dial it in, or like what's the experience between Kling and
No,
VO3?
I think in the number of iterations, it's the same. It's
Okay.
just like VO3 excels on the voice, especially now with that sound part. The
Oh yeah,
voice, it's perfect. The lip sync, it's perfect. The details on the product, it's perfect. On Klingai, some products are challenging to do, I would say, but
got it.
it's still very good. So you need to try it. I always say try it, test it. What free trial 1 month, you go there and yeah, you test it and you see if it can serve your business.
Yeah, or find someone who has because
Exactly.
it can take like hundreds of hours sometimes to
Yes.
dial in a process. And we have 10 plus people um, dialing in this particular process on our team. I know there's other people out there as well. So just want to be sensitive to, if you're somebody who is wearing all the hats and are deep in operations, this might not be the best use of your time. But if you're able to commit to it or able to bring someone in to help you, it is such a huge unlock.
Yeah, and that is a very good call out, because if you want to save on the subscription of those tools, you can hire us because you don't pay anything.
That's
You will
true.
use
That's true.
them for your business for free, and we will give you the assets. So those photos that you see for the cushions, for example, they were used on the ads, but they went for the client as well, and you was able to save
Yeah,
those photos. So yeah.
it's a great point. Yeah, it's fun stuff. I think we have a few more videos.
That clear water in your glass, it might not be as clean as you think. ISO Pure Water's advanced systems remove hidden contaminants.
Yeah, so tell me about, I mean, there's several tools in here. This is completely from nothing, really.
Yeah.
This particular ad.
Stock footage, VO3. So it's a little bit of
Yeah.
what we already talked before, just more examples. Stock footage, VO3, Arcade's AI with the voiceover, CapCut with the subtitles, and Premiere to put everything
Yeah.
together to really make the cake, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah, those are the tools that we are using.
Yeah, and then similar here.
Similar
Maximize
here,
your
yeah.
Amazon shop full potential.
So
Yes.
CapCut is our favorite tool to do subtitles. It's so easy, it's so fast, it's crazy. And then yeah, it's so all those videos, they have that script that we showed you a few slides back. You
Mhm.
need to do that script. The script has the voice script and as the visual script. It gives you both our prompts, so you can really visualize through words what you want. And then you have the voice one that will go to Arcade's AI to do that voiceover. And then the designer can really visualize what he needs to put into each frame to do
Yeah.
that final result.
Yes. I mean, for designers to really succeed, we have to set them up. I think where things go wrong sometimes
Yeah.
is founders expect the person making the video to also have the strategy and know exactly how things need to be said to the customer. And
Yeah.
they're making so many micro decisions already in terms of aesthetics, placement, focal points, on and on and on. We really try hard to set people up to succeed,
Next time.
because we want the design team to be focused on what they do best, and we've already spent hours researching and putting together the marketing
Yeah.
strategy to translate into that. And it's the same when you're asking a tool to do output for you as well. And we find the best results really are combining these different tools, using them for their strengths, and then having a professional kind of weave them together. That's the ideal situation, I think, for these tools to work best. But of course, like you can get some lower quality things tested without all of that process.
Yeah, for sure. I always say this is my responsibility to give those guidelines to the design team, because I'm the one passing hours and hours every day into the account
Yeah.
and really getting those learnings, because our designers, they are focused on let's have the brand guidelines in the right place. Let me gather all those assets, and we need to be focused on, I want to explore fear on this video. So
Right.
are you losing money on Prime Day? Are you not getting the profit that you want on Prime Day? So this is exploring the fear angle. This is the part where the marketer needs to think about what he wants for this video. And the designer needs to think about the visual part. How can we serve the brand guidelines, and how can we tell this story in a visual way better? But the strategy, the voicing, the voice script, so the line that weaves the whole video together, it's the marketer's job to do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, and in the world where making things is not the hurdle anymore, strategy is just so important, because not everyone's going to take the time to do it. Not everyone is going to take the time to really craft marketing language that resonates, that has a chance in the market. You can't beat a bunch of drop shippers at low quality, high volume,
Yeah,
churning and burning products, content, and accounts and things like that. So which is awesome. I think this is the type of work that founders and marketers alike really prefer to focus on, and focus less on which tech stack we need, or, how to write code even in some cases when we're talking about some really high-end execution. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun, but I think it means strategy is more important than it ever was.
It's the most important thing nowadays on it.
Yeah. And maybe it always was, but
Yeah, it's always was. Yeah, but now it's clear that it's
yeah.
the way.
All right. I think this is our last one. So this is kind of showcasing a blended approach of using Photoshop and some of our image generation tools. So really just leveling up the look and feel. And I think this is where we can kind of elevate a brand with AI in cost-effective ways. So you can kind of see at the bottom left the different steps Vitor went through. Thank you, Vitor, for recording this for us to show the different layers. But yeah, it's a blending of real product photos, of AI generated assets, and this adds a banger. Like, this really works for the type of customer that is attracted to this product. So
Yeah, and this we are seeing there. It's the potential of the Photoshop creating that negative space, as you can
mhm.
see. We only had this PNG to work with, so how can we make this not look a PNG on a white background? How can we make that this was like a photographic session? And on the second image, it's way better, way elevated. All
Mhm.
the water, it looks like it was a photographer that took that photo and then it was weaved in the ad. And yeah, you can see all the process. Image generated in Midjourney, then it went to Photoshop, create AI to improve the quality of the overall image. And yeah, this is the final result. That second ad, it offset the first ad. So yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. I love this because this isn't a new way of visual storytelling. I think of a lot of like big conglomerate owned skincare brands like Dove and Suave, and you often would see these, like beautiful explosions of different liquids or different
Yeah.
textures. You see it a lot in shampoo commercials and things like that. This type of visual approach has been possible for a long time, but it required really highly skilled and very talented artists and designers to either create those FX in person and layering in, or potentially doing it from scratch within the Adobe suite. So I love that this is just more accessible to new people. It's just creating a little bit of visual interest, but it's done in a way that this was not possible for um, a Shopify brand of this size to really do 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And once again, it's a blended of multiple AI tools and multiple strengths between all those AIs that give you a good final result. The secret nowadays is know what you want and what is the tool for that need that you have,
Yeah,
because you need to have multiple.
you really do.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to switch over to, let's see. We did promise, we have all of the prompts that were used to generate the stuff are available on our website. I think Haroon is listening. We'll probably drop a link in the comments if you're watching this live on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you can message us or you can go to growthhit.com and find it in our menu. But um, this is a really awesome library. And I almost don't want to call it an AI prompts library because it's really more of a system. Everything's designed in a very gamified way that talks to you to kind of pull the information out and provides you different frameworks that you can go down to get different results. And it's not just about ads. I know we focused a lot on ads today, candidly, because they're cool and visual and fun to look at, but there's a lot of other things that we're using AI to execute on. So we have some Shopify website prompts if you're working on what should you test for your heroes section? What could you do on your product page? By the way, we also have an AI audit tool on our website that you can put in your Shopify URL and it will tell you what are the weakest links on your store. But within the prompt library, you'll get kind of the tools and templates, copy paste to really take it to the next level. We also have the same for email and even SEO. SEO sometimes is overlooked, especially for, I would say, our scrappier Shopify stores that we know, because it's not necessarily going to generate the same amount of cash tomorrow as turning on paid ads will, but it's super important. And as time goes on, SEO and paid Google ads are besties. And SEO and the LLMs, the AI tools themselves that your customers are asking, hey, what product should I get for X problem? Well, it's looking at different SEO sources. And I know we can go deeper into what are ways to get the AI to rank your store or brand using SEO. We also obviously covered the ad stuff a lot today because it's so fun. And Andre alluded to this at the very beginning. We do have some financial metrics. So a little mini CFO, chief financial officer for you in ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or wherever you want to go. Just some basic stuff to really understand. What are the guardrails? How much should you be seeing cost to acquire before you start scaling? All sorts of things like this. And we're just constantly pushing the limits on this and trying to use these tools to make better and better decisions when it comes to our forecasting, how much inventory to buy. But this will really give you, I think, the tools you need to be more confident before you start spending money on ads. I think it's the danger zone when people don't go through the financials and just start spending. You really need to know your numbers, know your business model, and you will just have a much more pleasant time. It'll be so much more fun because you'll know exactly where you need to be before you start spending more. Andre, anything you would add on the different areas of the prompts?
No, I think it's a very complete prompt library.
It really is.
So the thing that I would add is we use these every day. These are the prompts that we use on our ads team, on the email team. Everyone is using these every day and improving it every day. So yeah, my only advice is just get into it, start testing, give us feedback if you want, if you find anything that could be better, or if you have any new take, give us feedback because we will appreciate it. And yeah, just try it out because you will be amazed by some of them for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and this 5X is already outdated.
Yeah.
Since we last refreshed the copy here, it is now 7X. So I want to thank everyone for joining us for our 7X sales special today. Thanks for hanging with us as we went through different ad executions. If you have any questions about the particular tools, about the prompts, about our process, reach out and we would love to support you with that. This is just such a joy and it's so fun to be able to see more Shopify founders than ever really have the tools that they need to succeed without killing their margin. It is really such an exciting time. So with that, we're going to end it. Thank you all so much and look forward to seeing you and next week's show or on YouTube, wherever you catch us.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.